Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here. Today we are on the Royal Enfield Classic 350. We're trying to put about 200 miles on her to see how it goes. We're at Ledges State Park, kind of the iconic entrance. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience. I've got about, I don't know, about 350 miles on this thing so far. It's been a lot of fun. It's been interesting. That's one thing to notice right there. Right now the bike is parked. I think I've got about 950 miles, 971 miles on it. So I guess I put about 350 miles on it so far. And got about 120 miles yet to go today, so life is good. But I'm gonna put my helmet on. We'll take the thing for a ride and see what we find out. Wahoo! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go have some fun. So there's several different parts to Ledges State Park. We are at the top part of it, the plain area, you know, the Iowa plain area, and down below is the Des Moines River, and that's kind of the lowest area. And the geology or geography, kind of we go from top to bottom. We're going to take a big road down that way. It's kind of fun. And there's a lot of wooded area through here. There's a lot of sandstones cut out. We'll see some of that down here. And a lot of wildlife. Just driving through the campgrounds area, I was just noticing all the nuthatches and just all kinds of really neat bird life. Okay, Canyon Drive entrance, caution, low water crossing ahead. Yeah, there's a couple of those. That's one of the reasons I wanted to come here, was I wanted to see how this bike did with that. All right, no rock climbing or rappelling or carving in sandstone. Please don't carve in the sandstone. So let's talk about the motorcycle a little bit. We had thunderstorms all night where I lived. Got up this morning, opened the garage door, and I hopped on this little bike and drove around town. The significance of that is it's such a small and easygoing motorcycle, such a pleasant thing to ride, that, you know, it pushed right out of the garage easy. It handled around town like a, you know, it just did that kind of thing really well. Little town bike, just excellent, you know. Light, nimble. I mean, look at this. You know, it just does everything super simple, super light. It's a very approachable machine. The ultra friendly motor. It's like a puppy dog almost. You know, I love it. I just love it so far. And like I said, I got about 350 miles on it. Now these boulders have been here for years, but this looks like it's all been redone. I wonder if they put the same ones back in the same spot, or. But I mean, look at this. You can just, handling is superb on this motorcycle. It just does everything, you know, very well. And I love that about it. And then the next thing about the early morning bike ride thing is, you know, I got out there, push it out, hit the button, and that little J engine, they call it the J engine, it just snaps to life. It makes a very pleasant sound. I mean, listen to that. It's easy going, it's predictable, and it just doesn't give you any grief. It just does everything right. And it makes 20 horsepower, which is enough to do what we need to do. Isn't it just gorgeous? Beautiful time of year to be here too. The leaves are just starting to bud. Look at that. Wow. I forget how beautiful this place can be. So let's talk about handling a little bit. So basically the garage is easy. This thing, even though it weighs 430 pounds with a tank of gas, it doesn't feel like it's that heavy at all. Ultra, you know, it feels like a 300-pound bike. It pushes around the garage very easily. The center of gravity is so low that it's an absolute champ in that sense. Around the parking lot, you know, the store parking lot, whatever. Driving around town, well, it's just like it's made for that. It just does that so well. An absolute dream that way. Look at this, isn't this just gorgeous? Hey, a water crossing. Let's go see what happens. It's got this. The front fender goes all the way down, and look at this, isn't this just gorgeous? They'll save me if I have trouble, right? Handsome dog out there. These bridges and shelters like this were built during the CCC era in the 30s. There's lots of structures like that here. Just a gorgeous area, isn't it? Boy, that'd make a good picture, wouldn't it? I gotta tell you, I'm a little, my feet just got wet. So this bike has 6.7 inches of ground clearance, and I just got soaked. So the water was deeper than that. What a grin, what a grin. I mean, look at this. Beautiful. A little warmer out, you'll come down here and the little kids all over this playing down there, and you know, people, and just, it's a very popular park. I think it's the most popular state park in Iowa. Another waterway here. This one looks a little less full. There's another trail right there. Staircase. Well, I don't know. Let's go find out. I think I'll lift my feet up this time. I wish I had a tripod. I'd get a video of that. Look at this sandstone. Oh, just gorgeous. I don't know if you can see it up there, but there's trailways up there, little bridges. Wow. I'm here to talk about the motorcycle, but I can't focus on that. Howdy. My pants are soaked. What a hoot, what a hoot. I think this is the last one, I'm not sure. Well, let's go see if I can get wet, like wetter. I'm absolutely soaked. We were here to talk about motorcycles, weren't we? Check it out. So there's a trail that way. There's a staircase up yonder that goes that way. There's miles and miles of trails here. I mean, it's just one of the most beautiful parks beyond the roadway. I mean, if you don't mind hiking, it's just a gorgeous place. About 14,000 years ago, they think a big ice dam broke up north in Minnesota, carved the Des Moines River out. So it's kind of a straight river, and that's just over yonder. Now, this is a little sandstone area. So that dug a big hole, a big trench through Iowa. This is a sandstone area in the plains area above the river. The erosion has created this park, all the sandstone right here, and that's created this beautiful geological wonder, you know, and that's Iowa's Ledges State Park. That's the Des Moines River over there. I think we'll have a better vantage points up here. We'll get a look at it. Boy, this is the perfect. Look at all this water over my bike. What a grin. You know what? I'll pull over and we'll take a look at the motorcycle. My shoes are full of water. I'm just rolling here. Just rolling. Literally. Okay, let's take a look at this. The bags soaked, water all over the motor, all over the front. Now here's that fender I was talking about. It went all the way down. Heck, that was probably dragon water. Oh my gosh, what a hoot. What a hoot. I'm loving it. I don't know if I've told you all this yet, but this motorcycle is a blast. I just love this thing. What a grin. Look at the water on the bags there. Speaking of these bags, I'm starting to get used to them. I had a little problem with them at first. I mean, I like the way they look, but I wasn't totally sold on them. And I'm starting to figure out how they work. They've got Velcro on the edges here. And these latches seem to work better like the way I'm using them right here. My friend Gary showed me that. They take a lot of, I got a coat in there and a bunch of other stuff in this one. This one's absolutely empty. Real quick, we'll talk about the seat. Again, I always mention the seat because I'm absolutely thrilled with the seat. It actually is very similar to my seat concept seat, except it's got these ribs in it. And these ribs are actually, I'm trying to decide how much I like. I know I like them. I'm trying to figure out why I like them so much. It just gives you a little bit of seating option difference, it seems. Other issues to talk about would be mirrors. They do vibrate. I mentioned that before. I have been paying a lot of attention to that, and what I'm learning is they actually don't vibrate that much, except for when you're in fifth gear at the higher speeds. I was going to tell you, I was going to monitor that closely today and tell you what speeds exactly. However, if you look at my speedometer, it doesn't work properly, so I can't really give you that good info. I was also going to tell you how what kind of mileage this thing gets. My last tank of gas, my first full tank of gas, I got 63 miles a gallon. I know that for a fact. I was going to do the same watch on this one. However, if my speedometer's off, maybe my odometer's off, and I don't know if that'll be accurate. When I do this tank of gas, I'll put that right below, so you can see it. So mirrors are an issue, and right now I've got a problem with the speedometer. I'm not worried about the speedometer issue. I think that's going to be an easy fix. The bike is excellent between 50 and 60 miles an hour, and you can start feeling it when you get over 60. You know, when you get over 60, you can really feel it. So I know when I'm going over 60. This I just drove about 82 miles, and I did a lot of traffic, you know, 2-lane blacktop, and my speedometer was like that. It was reading 80 the whole time. Of course, the bike doesn't go 80, but I kept up with traffic just fine. I had no troubles with traffic. I only got passed once. I could have passed other cars, but I didn't see the point. The point of this ride today is just relaxation. I keep using this quote where the bike massages the soul. You know, you get to the spirit of the thing, and all that. Everything works good together. And that quote, or something about that, or something similar to that, is attributed to a guy named Nandan, I think his name is. He's some sort of Royal Enfield, Indian Royal Enfield guru. You know, he, I don't know, breathes exhaust, bleeds oil, farts motorcycle noises, things like that. And anyway, he's the one that came up with that quote. And I can absolutely see what he's talking about, or understand what he's talking about with that. The other thing I'd like to say about that is this bike, if you enjoy motorcycle riding, if you enjoy the shifting and the gas and the skills required to ride a motorcycle, this bike is really great at that. This will work that funny and work those bones, those muscles in your mind to their fullest, and it'll do it in a very easy, comfortable way. And I don't know how to explain that either, I guess. So I was calling this bike Zen, the riding, you know, the Zen feeling, the becoming one with the bike thing. That's true, absolutely true. It's also a rider's bike in the sense of enjoying the motorcycle riding, enjoying the shifting, and enjoying the. Here we have more trails, by the way. This goes quite a ways back here. Here's a little map. Just the art of, you know, the art of motorcycle riding. Why am I calling it art? And I haven't used that term yet in all these videos that I made in the last 3 years. And the reason I'm saying that is because this bike really has a different feel to it, a different way of making you go, and it may a different plane of I don't want to sound like some old freaky hippie, but I guess I am an old freaky hippie. Kind of a different plane of life kind of thing, you know. Now I drove the Hunter the other day, same engine, you know, different geometry, different seating position, a little different rake, different. That bike is very different from this bike, and I would not use that same descriptive terminology when, you know, describing that. I would not say that's a Zen bike. I would not say that one was like this. That had a whole different way about it. I'm not saying better or worse, it's just different. As far as the Meteor goes, I haven't put enough miles on a Meteor to tell where that fits in this world, but I will say that this bike is very enjoyable to ride a long ways. You feel like a motorcycle rider when you're riding it. It's maneuverable, it's playful, it's kind of like, the puppy metaphor again. This is kind of like playing with a, you know, medium-sized puppy. It's exciting, it's fun, it wants to do things, it just, you know, but yet it's relatively tame, I guess is a good word for it. I like this bike a lot. I really enjoy it. So we've climbed back up from the river valley area up to the top to the plains area again. So now we're back up to the big flatlands of Iowa, the cornfields for miles, and you can drive 150, 200, 300 miles in Iowa and see nothing but this right here in front of us. It's just how Iowa is in a lot of spots, most of it anyway. What else can I say about this bike? At 350 miles, I just truly enjoy it. I'm starting to get used to it. I was having some trouble, you know, with the mag wheels and the paint, modern paint on a classic model bike, but I'm starting to really enjoy that too. I like the red stripe a lot, and you know, it's really growing on me. I talked about the mirrors. You can kind of see them shaking. They're not vibrating here, but they're shaking. I can live with that. It's anyway, we talked about that. We'll get the speedometer fixed. That's not gonna be an issue. It's a 50 to 60 mile an hour bike. It will go faster than that, but it's really not made for that, or it really doesn't seem to work well, at least not with me on it. And I want to throw that in. I'm 220 pounds right now in my bare socks, so that might have a difference. You know, if you weigh quite a bit less than me, this bike might be a whole different thing for you. But I absolutely love the bike. Isn't that just a pretty spot right there? Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous Iowa. Anyway, Life is good. Life is good. If it's nice where you're at, get on your motorcycles and ride, my friends. Wahoo! 630 John Deere. 4630. Hey, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Wow. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. It's a tricycle front end.